So I came across this on Noster, and I'm telling you, if you want to find stuff that you wouldn't see on most of the internet, get onto Noster. And yeah, I mean, Twitter's great for breaking news and that kind of stuff, but like the best things are on Noster right now. So let me find this. This is Gil Scott explains the meaning behind "The revolution will not be televised" in a 1991 interview. And I love what he says here. I'm just going to let him say it, and then we'll talk about it after. Look at this fella. This guy's seen something in his life. All right.
Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that like that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see, and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page, or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note. And I've got to get in sync with everyone else to understand what's happening in this country. Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that like that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see, and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page, or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note. And I've got to get in sync with everyone else to understand what's happening in this country.
Pretty profound words there from Gil Scott. I don't know who that is, so forgive me if I'm underappreciating him, but that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Revolution will not be televised because it happens up here. You cannot televise that. There's no video, there's no pictures of it happening. It's just one thing at a time, one touch point at a time, one experience that you have at a time. And who knows what that's going to be. In the case of Proton Mail, it was PayPal shutting their bank account down. In the case of some Canadians, maybe they donated to the trucker protest. They had their bank account frozen. Their mind was open. They experienced that. That was not captured on film or televised. It's these small things that happen throughout our life. And in the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot more people experiencing this. But we see it every single day. You know, Trump getting shot in the ear, that woke people up. Everything. It's not something it's just one event for every single person. Everybody sees the world through a different lens, and everybody has they experience life differently. And it's not one thing that happens and everybody changes. It's one thing at a time, and people's minds open up a bit. And you have to get to that point, just like the girl in the video that we watched. You have to get to that point before you're ready to see what's on the other side of this whole thing. What's outside of this Overton window? Because once you can go outside of that, that's when things really click. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to speak for everybody in this chat here, but I think that most people have gotten to that point. That's probably why you're watching this stream today, is because you've gotten to that point. So the revolution is happening. It's not one event, but it's our consciousness. And when one person's talking like this, and now that we have the internet, that's just going to accelerate things to the nth degree there. So don't worry too much, and maybe we'll end the show. I'm going to cut this off, and we're going to move to the second part of the show here. We're going to be talking about some AI stuff, but we'll end with this just because we're still on the YouTube here. So kind of with that in mind, I want you to really, how can I say this? Over this next year, and especially in the coming months, there's going to be a lot of information. And one of the things that happened in the last couple of days was there was two things, actually. One, somebody said that there was a news article that came out and said Donald Trump is considering Jamie Dimon as the Treasury Secretary. And then he was considering Larry Fink as the Treasury Secretary. And everybody was like, including me. So I got to take some blame for this one, some responsibility. But everyone's like, why would Trump be considering Jamie Dimon for a Treasury Secretary? Maybe Trump's not who I think he is. That's what went through my head. And I talk about it on the show. And then we come out and we hear yesterday, Trump put out a post on Truth Social saying that he never said that, and he has never thought about Jamie Dimon or Larry Fink as Treasury Secretary. So you have to keep in mind here that as we move forward here in this next couple months, there's going to be a ton of information out there. Most of it not true, some of it true. And you're going to be the person who has to discern that information and verify it yourself. And, you know, shame on me. I take responsibility for not actually verifying that myself. But it's part of what we're going to go through in the next couple months here. And it's like the fog of war, essentially what it is that there's both sides in battle in a war right now. And both are going to be putting out information to try to make the other side look bad. So the other part here, and actually I'm going to bring this up on Primal if I can. But this was a post from Chris Liss. Great name. Great name. Where's my replies here? There they are. So let's read this quickly because it's important. We have to keep this stuff top of mind moving forward. So this is from Chris Liss on Noster today. And again, there's some F words in here. So if you're got kids listening, mute it. So Chris Liss, Twitter fucks with your head. Saw a post saying that the European Union plans to create a registry for assets. Got stressed about that as I live in Portugal. But you look into it, it's one random source speculating on a law that might be passed over the next 2 years. So it's one random source speculating on a law that might be passed over the next 2 years. Don't get me wrong, the EU would absolutely pass such a law and steal everything you have. But if it got even close to getting passed, capital would flee at the speed of light. In fact, if you want to see hyper-Bitcoinization, you should pray that law gets passed, that law gets passed. Nothing would incentivize people to grasp hard-to-seize assets, money, than the communist apparatchiks coming for the easy-to-seize stuff. The problem with Twitter is that the information is bad. Isn't that the information is bad. It's actually great compared to corporate media if you cultivate the right follows. It's that it forces you to contemplate every attack vector at once and turns you into a paranoid lunatic. Everyone should be prepared to protect himself based on first principles, health, relationships, finances, and property. But worrying about the demented dreams of every psychotic politician is a huge and unpleasant distraction. So that's Chris Liss that earned a zap from me this morning. And I couldn't agree more with that. I really couldn't. Because we're going to go through that. There's going to be a lot of fake news coming out. And Trump was one of the guy who coined the phrase fake news. But it's the truth. And what you have to keep in mind here, as you said there, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your family. That's number one. And what you should be focused on over these next couple months is not what's going on politically in the world between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Because if you're still at the stage where you believe that Kamala Harris is a realistic presidential candidate and she's actually going to get some votes, I saw that polls came out saying that she's ahead of Donald Trump already. That's the kind of stuff that you just need to completely tune out of your life because it is 100%, 1000% bullshit, head to toe. So you have to forget about that. You have to drown out all the noise over the next couple months, a couple years even, because it's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad. And you have to focus on a few things. Number one, protecting yourself, protecting your family, and being ready for everything. Have some water, have some meat, have some cash on hand, have a plan in place. If the power goes out, if the communications go out, have a place to meet. Protect yourself, protect your family. That's number one. Number two, protect your Bitcoin. The price is going to go up. The price is going to go down. If you're here for the long term, the price does not matter right now. Full stop. Price does not matter right now. If you're here for the next 10, 20, 30 years, the price of Bitcoin on July 24th, 2024 is absolutely irrelevant. So it doesn't matter what Trump says. It doesn't matter what Kamala says at the conference. None of that matters. Find a way. What you should be focused on right now is protecting your Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin you've been able to accrue to this point, figure out how to protect that best. That should be your number one focus right now after your family. So whatever you need to do there, whatever you need to do, whether you have to invest in a device, invest in somebody to help you with that. I know some people here who can help you with that, but that should be your number one focus right now. Is not the price, it's protecting your Bitcoin. Whatever happens in the next 10 years, you want to make sure that you have your Bitcoin. That's it. That's it. And the third thing there is just to enjoy yourself. As he said there, it's very easy looking at the news, looking at Twitter, whatever that is, listening to all this bullshit. It's very easy to become super paranoid. But at the end of the day, you want to get to the point where they're going to have to come and take it from you. You don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about the laws. Don't worry about whatever bullshit they're passing through Parliament or the Congress. Don't worry about that. Get yourself in a position where they have to come and take it from you. And when they do come, you're prepared for that. But the last part here is just to enjoy yourself. Sorry, I kind of went off. I went to 2B there. But enjoy yourself. Don't be super paranoid. Don't be super worried. Don't worry about things that haven't happened yet. Don't worry about hypotheticals because it's just a waste of energy. You need to be putting your energy to the right places right now. And worrying about things that could or could not happen is a waste of that. Waste of energy. Waste of time. Time is the only thing more scarce than Bitcoin. So enjoy yourself. Don't worry too much about money, about finances. Keep your friendships, your relationships intact. Go for a walk, go play around a golf, enjoy the very short summer that we have here in Canada anyways. Just enjoy yourself because we're not here for very long. And you want to have the Bitcoin to pass on to your future generations, but make sure that you still have some selfishness there in terms of actually enjoying yourself. And if there's something financially and you have to part with a few sats here and there just to reduce your stress and help you enjoy yourself more, then I'm all for it.